Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Awaken Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. If you are here live with us on Zoom, welcome, welcome. If you're watching on the recording, the replay on YouTube, welcome, welcome. Please do subscribe so you can take advantage of all the current shows, all the previous shows, all the shows coming up. It is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring to you these amazing speakers who are sharing their wisdom, their teachings, their experiences, their processes, their healings, their clearings, their activations, so that we can all thrive, so that we can all awaken to happiness now. And so today, my dear friend Elisa Pitt is back with us, and we're going to be talking about the original Light of Sophia membership. And so some of what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the term original divine blueprint and what does that mean, and how does someone know when they're beginning to remember theirs? What does it mean to be a record keeper and guardian of a multidimensional light library? What happens during Elisa's channeled activations and breathwork transmissions, and what are some of the ways that clients shift after joining the membership, for example? And what is Elisa's intention for the souls who feel called to work with her through the original Light of Sophia membership? We're going to talk about that. Of course, Elisa is going to be offering a channeled activation and transmission with Divine Mother and the Sophia Christ Collective. That includes a crystalline DNA activation. So stay tuned for that. And for those of you who may not know Lisa, she's been with us a few times now. She is an ascension guide as a teacher of the soul's journey as it relates to universal law and manifestation. Elisa's transmissions create an access point that activates and supports the soul's transition to its original divine blueprint. Through her Christos architecture, she channels Divine Mother and the Sophia Christ Collective to create physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual realignments. Elisa uses her gifts and abilities to assist others in activating their I am presence, embracing unity consciousness, and anchoring in the new earth. So everyone, please join me in welcoming back Elisa to the show. Elisa, welcome.
Thank you
So
so
glad you're here.
much, Holly. It's lovely to be back again.
I always enjoy our conversations, but not only the conversations, I always enjoy the activations that you bring forth as well. So the wisdom, the teachings, the activations, it's always such a high vibe call. And so I always look forward to when we're going to be speaking and when we're going to be co-creating this beautiful sacred space for our listeners to reawaken to their I am presence. And sometimes for the first time or sometimes a little bit more, right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I treasure it too.
So I wanted to ask you really quickly, like we're going through such it's like a significant time and transition that's going on right now. And the term original divine blueprint, we've heard it for years now, I think. But still, there are still so many people who are awakening to themselves, to even that phrase, original divine blueprint, and so awakening to their soul's presence, etc. And so when you use the phrase original divine blueprint, what does that mean to you? And how does someone know when they're beginning to remember theirs specifically?
Thank you. I appreciate this question because it helps me. So, the way that the original divine blueprint comes in for me is an expression of your soul's energetic signature in its divine perfection, that harmonious expression of sacred geometry, whether it's through the chakras, but it's the most exalted and harmonious expression of your physical, mental, emotional, and spirit body, um, bringing forth, your soul's unique energetic signature into this physical realm, which then, yes, it creates physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual realignments in order to kind of embody that frequency and vibration of unconditional, unwavering love. So that's kind of what I feel my mission is here, is to assist others and myself with accessing and embodying that framework of unconditional, unwavering love that really assists with dissolving any of the programs of, you know, um, fear or self-sabotage or blame or like different things that are going on inside of our fields. It just assists with disentangling those so that we can become the highest version of ourselves.
And that is what we have come here to do, is to become the highest version of ourselves, to embody that light, that love, that soul presence, that I am presence that we are truly, to embody it at this level as well, right?
Absolutely. I mean, what comes through again and again in these transmissions with the original Light of Sophia is that, we're not separate from source. We're not separate from that highest expression. So we know like various channels and conduits have brought in that, you know, in a unified field of consciousness, all is one, and we are source expressing ourselves here. And so that distinction of like, it is us, you know, it's flowing through us, it's in our hearts, it's this framework of reality, you know, this vibrational space. It's incredible.
Yeah. And if we can recognize that more and more, it'll become I feel like then every experience can become like an awakening for us. But we get tangled up in their stories and what's going on with our emotions, etc., and then we forget, right? So
Oh
about
yeah.
it's about constantly coming back to that,
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
or consistently, anyways. Right. And so you've also spoken about being a record keeper and a guardian of a multidimensional light library. What does that mean, and how does that feel when it's coming through your transmissions, etc.? It's like, can you give us an explanation of that, or just something that we can feel into and imagine for ourselves?
Absolutely. So the way that I would describe this living light library is it's a component of our angelic human template. So we have the ability to access it through our multidimensional DNA. And as we're activating our own kind of ascension, dissolving, you know, imprisonment programs, enslavement programs, and things like that, the Living Light Library comes in as in support of activating the 12-strand crystalline DNA, which um, is a container for our original divine blueprint. So what this feels like in transmission is it comes in, you know, as a holographic library. So we will go on a journey in through the heart. You know, we always start by opening the golden diamond crystalline heart. We enter inside of the heart and we're taken on a journey and on a flow. And we're brought into this multidimensional light library. And it meets each participant kind of where they are in the present moment. So sometimes an expression of what will come through is we'll be standing in the library and, you know, certain books on the shelves will start glowing, you know, this golden hue, and we'll walk over and explore it together. You know, it'll feel something like we're very magnetized, or we're remembering something that's familiar about ourselves, a familiar pattern of our DNA. So we open up the book, and sometimes there's a portal inside, and we go inside the portal. And once we're in the portal, we receive a download of information of wisdom from our heart that supports our ascension process. So occasionally that might be the integration of a Lemurian lifetime, or it might be um, locating the inception point of an imprint of self-sabotage or self-blame that we are participating in this lifetime so we can gain the wisdom. So it comes in like a variety of ways to serve our ascension process, and it's facilitated by Divine Mother. So it's held with integrity, this multidimensional light library, to ensure that, you know, it's of the highest resonance for us.
And so through that, I guess through that library, we can start to gain access to parts of ourselves that we have uh, given away our power. Even though I don't like that term, but you know, the illusion of giving away our power, the illusion of some stories and timelines that are limiting us in this lifetime, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's effortless because we enter the portal, you know, through our own hearts. We're given the remembrance of our multidimensional DNA, and we're given space, and we're held in a an immaculate container where we're able to witness ourselves and integrate the wisdom of these experiences. And that's just one way that that library can present within these transmissions.
Beautiful. I love it. And for me, it is always about receiving the wisdom, because once we receive the wisdom of certain experiences, situations, etc., that is when the pattern no longer continues. That's what creates a pattern interrupt, and because we've got the wisdom now, we don't need to, you know, continue that pattern, because the only reason why we have patterns continuing over and over again, because we haven't learned the wisdom yet. We haven't grasped the wisdom. I don't like to say learn the lesson, but gotten the wisdom yet, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's always just source getting to know itself better. And it's through the lens occasionally of, a more third dimensional framework of self-blame or self-sabotage, or I bring those in because I am familiar with those in this lifetime.
Yeah, I agree. Same.
Yeah.
And so in the let's talk a little bit about the membership, because in the membership you offer these channeled activations and breath work. So, and I know we're going to be experiencing and receiving a channeled activation today during this call, right? But
Yes.
when people are receiving these activations and doing the breath work a few times a week over many weeks, I'm sure they must have some sort of transformation, right? They must have some sort of shift that is occurring for them. So can you give us some examples of the ways that some of your clients have shifted after joining the membership and receiving all of these activations and breath work?
Well, they become in closer alignment and greater alignment with their original divine blueprint, which means that it's a shift in their perception and their ways of being. So that's really what we've noticed, myself included, through these transmissions, myself and the participants, where they're just looking at themselves and their life differently through the lens of God, through the lens of source, and being like, okay, this is happening for me. Um, what can I do to shift this? Or where did this originate from? Or who am I really, you know, in this experience? So in the material world or the physical world. And a lot of what we were witnessing here is the dissolve of the illusions of separation. That have kind of held us in this state of like push pull, or like the duality nature of it, of like if I just like try harder or push harder, I'm guaranteed an outcome. It just kind of dissolves. And we realize that, yes, we're the creators of our reality, but it's through our vibration, it's through our frequency, that we're creating. And we become kind of more just this whole system of awareness just comes online within us. And we're just like, engaging with everything differently. And it doesn't mean that, yes, that we never have pockets where we're feeling overwhelmed or we're feeling, ashamed, or that fear is just gone. It's just how we see ourselves within it is more sovereign, more like of a perception of our holiness, our true angelic nature.
Mm-hmm. And I think this illusion of separation obviously is the it's the biggest illusion we have, because we truly are not separate. But this illusion that keeps us feeling like we are separate is the overarching, overriding, I don't know, a story that we have humanity has been perpetuating for so long now. And uh, it's maddening. It's maddening, right? That we are still experiencing this to this point. But no judgment, because even I sometimes have those moments of separation, and it's like I have to remind myself, it's like no. But having to, instead of just reminding, but having to know it at a deep level, that that is an illusion, that is not the truth of who we are, right? I think that is so key, and that is what, from what my understanding is, that that is what some of the participants who work with you in the membership are experiencing.
Yes, and it's through these through communion with our highest self and divine mother, through the I am presence, that we kind of activate and bring online in these transmissions and elsewhere, of course. Like this is just one method of delivery or of resonance for the divine mother, or of the divine mother. She shows up in many ways, but she's coming in here to really facilitate the embodiment of the I am presence, by realizing our own innocence, and and offering, like, encouraging us to offer ourselves forgiveness. Like, self-forgiveness is such a powerful tool and resource in this lifetime, I feel, for embodiment of the I am presence, because it releases the shame or the fear, or the other frequencies that might be entangled within holding ourselves, in perpetual blame for something. And so Divine Mother continuously brings in, like, you're innocent. You know, each of us are expressions of source here. Each of us are God. You know, she continues bringing this in because it's so purposeful in this lifetime to embody that awareness. And like the only person that's like, and it's easy to say, you know, the only person that's shaming ourselves is ourselves. But and it can be it can feel very difficult to let it go. And so this reminder comes in continuously, like you're innocent, you know, you're loved, have compassion for yourself. You know, it just really fully assists us with just letting go of those entanglements of shame. And even, you know, within the third dimensional framework where people are participating in the blame and the shame, I've done it. I've looked at myself in judgment and been like, I should be better than this. You know, I've been on the spiritual path for how long now? Like, how come I haven't gotten it yet? And so what Divine Mother comes in to say is like, raise the frequency. You know, how do we do that? How do we embody the original divine blueprint? And it's really by noticing where we're participating in these things, offering ourselves forgiveness, feeling that resonance of our own innocence, you know, and then just like dropping and letting go of like the victimhood programming or like the need to be right or, you know, the shield. That's a big one too, of like feeling the need to protect ourselves and be on
Mhm.
guard and vigilant that way, you know, from other people's opinions or whatever it might be, which was a huge part of my path, you know, especially stepping into more of a public facing role where I'm offering these transmissions. And, you know, there's an abundance of opportunity for someone to potentially tell me like this isn't good or this isn't right or whatever they might say. And I had to really face those fears within myself, and I still do. But it just helps to have these transmissions where the Divine Mother's coming in and being like, I love you, you're innocent, you're free. You know, don't judge yourself for participating in these third dimensions. Of course you were, but just notice it now and allow it to lead you back into your heart and let it
I
go.
have to say, I don't think I've ever encountered that when when I do my transmissions or healing calls or anything. I have never encountered somebody saying, "You're full of it." Like, what are you saying? Or like, I've never, I've never had that. Thankfully, and that it
Yeah,
never crossed my mind because I know for myself when I'm doing that, it's not me, the personality doing it. I'm just an open channel
exactly.
receiving and then sharing, right? So it's like, I never thought of that, but I can understand why somebody would feel that way sometimes. And I think that's why so many light workers, healers, they hesitate to show up and share their gifts because of that fear of judgment and rejection, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And like, you know, Divine Mother comes in and is like, it's time to let that go. It's time to recognize our holiness, you know, that we are divine perfection. We're angelic. And it's just such a miraculous process to feel that much love, you know, especially for those of us who, like myself, who maybe didn't like myself who have, I think I've mentioned on your call before, like the abandonment wounds and different things like that, where you feel kind of afraid, you know, to feel that depth of love because it's like, oh, what if something, you know, happens?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
in these transmissions, it just comes through so effortlessly, and it's really helped me to see myself through this, just like see how beautiful I am and like hold myself in love and compassion. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. Like I still have my days or moments where I slip back into those familiar patterns, but it's getting a lot easier now. And like that's why I'm so passionate about this membership offering. Because, like you said, it's not the personality or it's not the ego that's doing this. It's this shift in vibration, this awareness, this presence that's channeling through us in support of raising the vibration of the collective. So I've kind of realized, like, okay, this is bigger than me now. Like, and then just kind of holding myself when I feel afraid, like the fear of rejection or whatever might be coming
yeah,
through.
yeah. I think another one is the oh God, I had it and imposter syndrome. A lot of people have that imposter syndrome thing, you know. But again, it's all based on the fear of judgment, fear of rejection, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of these fears that we have, these patterns, these limiting beliefs and patterns, some of them are in the collective for sure, and some of them we're just carrying over from past lifetimes or through our ancestors, and it's in our DNA. But I
Mhm.
feel like this really is the lifetime or timeline where a lot of these are coming up to the surface to be released and resolved and healed and cleared, and to know that they no longer um, are in alignment with who we are. Right? They
Absolutely.
might have served a purpose at some point, but they're no longer serving that purpose anymore.
Yeah, I mean, what comes through is like they're just expressions. They're expressions of source. We have this template and this blueprint of, experiences that we're having. We're integrating the wisdom of all of these experiences. Like they keep coming in and saying, like, in neutrality, it's just where you're focused, you know,
Mhm.
it's nothing more, nothing less. There's nothing like good or bad about it. It just simply is where the vibration is residing. And
Yeah.
so if we're primarily focused, in a lower dimensional framework, then we might have feeling, but it's not the feeling of like, selfishness or greed or like self-serving things or whatever. But it's not necessarily an accurate reflection of the true self, of the whole self. And it's also not even to be taken that seriously. Like I'll say it, it's just an effect of the vibration. And so we can shift that through practices like self-love, through meditation, through neutrality, and the embodiment of the law of one. So I feel like that's kind of what really wants to come in now is this like blueprint and awareness of who we truly are. Like it completely transcends all time, all space, all experiences that we have here. And it really just gives us permission to just have fun with it, to just explore who we are and like what we can create, free of the need to be right or wrong. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And when you're just being an expression of source and just having that focus of I'm just expressing as source, as source would like me to express, um, it's very freeing is the word that I got. It's very freeing, it's very liberating because you don't have an agenda other than I'm just expressing source,
Yeah.
consciousness through me. But I
Exactly.
find that for me that's easier when I'm working with client or working with a group, right? At that time that's my intention, right? But in the everyday day-to-day stuff, I feel like then it's just my personality self that's just going about the daily tasks, etc. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I do understand where you're coming from because I do that too. I'll be very focused on, the client or this call, for example, and then, later on I might have like patterns or thoughts that slip in that are just like, ooh, that's probably not the highest frequency thought I could be thinking. But I mean, that's where the goodies are, so to speak, is like when we're alone because it's not like our vibration just shuts off and stops creating, at the end of the day when we lie in bed and we're thinking, like we're still co-creating all the time, with this
Yeah.
magnificent reality. There's infinite potential here. So, yeah, again, with these transmissions, it's really leading us to embody the self-awareness, not from a place of judgment or shame, but just from a place of like directing our consciousness so that we can create more of what we do desire through aligning with patterns of self-love, and so on.
Hmm. Absolutely. So, what is your intention with for the souls who are feeling called to work with you through the membership? So, what is your highest intention for them?
I would say my highest intention, would be to feel, yes, feel the embodiment, of the law of one, feel they're in that Christed flow of unity consciousness. Um, it's also to walk together, I would say. My intention is for us to walk together. There's no like hierarchical structure here. It's just all of us learning and experiencing ascension together, and exploring the embodiment of the law of one and what that truly means for us. And since opening the membership, I've been shown, like I know now without a doubt that there is a highest crystalline expression. You know, we are heading into heaven on earth. And this new earth expression is here, and we're capable of achieving that within our own lives and consciousness and fields. So co-creating that together is just such a magnificent journey. And I would just be honored, you know, if anyone feels the resonance to kind of jump on board and let's do this together. We're creating this beautiful community of light. And I'm honored to be a part of it and to be witness to it.
Awesome. And I think what you said, one of the pieces that you said was really important. It's like there's no hierarchical structure in anything that we're actually doing, any of us who are working with the light. It is about all of us walking together through this ascension journey,
Mhm.
through on this ascension path. We're all going together in some way. We're all going to get there eventually, right? But it's about, how can we walk together in a way that is filled with more ease for all of us, right? Is more ease filled, more graceful, and more about light and love and compassion. Because on the journey, on the journey, it's not always a straight path, and it's not always a golden path. I'll be honest, right? There
Mhm.
are things that occur, and sometimes we need a little bit extra support, and sometimes we feel like we just need to take a break, etc. But we're still all going together, right? So that is
Absolutely.
that for those of us who are have that intention. Now you've talked a little bit about quite a bit about the law of one. So can you talk a little bit more about the law of one, and for those who may not understand what that is?
Absolutely. So the law of one comes in for me, like as we know, of course, as unity consciousness. But it also comes in as I see ourselves as being microcosmic expressions of a higher power of source. You know, there's a cosmic intelligence to all of this. You know, this divine creation that we're existing within. And so I see the law of one as a cosmic expression of the highest divine order. And so there is a framework, like an intelligent, I'm trying to describe what I'm sensing here. There isn't
Hmm.
a framework, an intelligence, a blueprint, you know, it looks like grid systems. That is a vibrational field that supports, that kind of is like the container of creation. And so it's like a bandwidth of consciousness. And so things are kind of being birthed through it, engaging with it, moving on, and things like that. But there is this advanced intelligence. It's a higher divine order to things. So the law of one is like the basis. It exists. It's like a template of creation. I'm kind of going all over the map here with this, but I'm seeing how it relates to everything that we do, and we can detour from it if we want to, but we can kind of feel when we detour from it because it starts to feel a little bit static, like a little bit like maybe even uncomfortable or like there's like we're not in the highest path, and that
Hmm.
looks like service to self, or anything else that kind of detours away from the law of one. I mean, we see it all around us that like in
Yeah,
on this
yeah,
planet, in
absolutely.
some form or another until we don't anymore. But yeah, so that's kind of what I would say the law of one comes through for me. It's like one heart, you know, one heart expressing everywhere. And we can live in organic alignment with the truth of who we are as creator beings, or we can live detoured away from the law of one and serve to
Hmm.
self. Feel how that feels.
Hmm.
It doesn't really feel that good because it's not an organic expression of creation. So that's how the law of one comes in for me. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I also got the law of one is an organizing principle of creation of
Organizing
cosmic.
principle.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's what I
love
was
that.
getting as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So I forgot to mention at the beginning because sometimes I do. But if you have a question for Elisa, you can raise your hand, or you can type your question in the chat, right, regarding what we've talked about specifically. But if there's anything else that's coming for you, like for example, right now, the law of one question that I asked Elisa, it was not, one of the questions, I kind of put her on the spot, but it's like I want to know so that I can share this information with other people,
Yeah,
who
I
may not
appreciate
know what it is, right?
that. Hmm.
But yeah, if you have a question for Elisa, just raise your hand or type your question in the chat. So you work with Divine Mother. Sorry, you work with Divine Mother and Ascended Masters. Who do you work with, or I was gonna say, who is overlighting or guiding or facilitating these processes with you?
I would say it's my oversoul that's facilitating the processes. And I have my oversouls connected to Divine Mother and various ascended masters like Isis and Kuan Yin and Hathor come in primarily. And Yeshua comes in as well. Also, like the earth, uh, like more earthly focused collectives, like the bear collective, the squirrel collective, the trees, they come in as well in the transmissions and share their wisdom with us. It's all about rearranging and realigning with the original divine blueprint, our physical, mental, emotional, spirit bodies, all in vibrational alignment with the original divine blueprint. So the various collectives that I work with come in to support that.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, because sometimes people are curious, like who, who are you working with? Who are the guides, the angels, etc. Who are you, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm glad you asked.
yeah, and I mean, obviously, when you've been on the show before, you've talked about Divine Mother, and obviously we felt her presence when you do the activations and the transmissions for sure, right? Um, so was there anything else that you wanted to add right now about the membership, or how the activations and transmissions work, or do you want to get into one? Because I know how powerful those are.
Absolutely. I think what I would just like to reiterate is this awareness of self as source. That we are coming into these realms to kind of play in the fear, and that we are actually so much bigger. And through compassion and self-love, we can be guided, and self-forgiveness, we can free ourselves from those entanglements, and we can become the highest version of ourselves. And yes, it is an ongoing process. It certainly doesn't happen overnight, just like we didn't get here overnight.
Yeah.
But this highest crystalline expression, this highest divine blueprint that we hold within our hearts, within our DNA, it's here for us now. And we can achieve full embodiment of our highest crystalline self, our Christed self. And these transmissions support that. So if you're feeling a resonance or a calling to explore this, definitely check out the special offer. I know you're going to speak to that later, Shefali. Um,
Hmm.
but it's just such an honor to facilitate and to witness these transmissions. And I just, yeah, I just feel deeply honored. So that's kind of what I would share, I think, before moving into the transmission.
Awesome, thank you. And I think Sarah has a question. So Sarah, you want to unmute?
We go. Hello.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Sarah. How
How
are
are
you?
you?
Good. Lovely to see you.
Good. You're looking lovely.
Thank
Um, Here's my question. Now, admittedly, um, it's Lionsgate, this Jewish holiday called Tisha B'Av, the saddest day of the Jewish year, all kinds of catastrophes. Um, a major sad event in my own life this weekend, but and Mercury retrograde is still with us. So what I've been noticing is that I've been on a pretty good keel for a long time, but this last week I have experienced so much betrayal, and I wondered why I called it in. and it was really hard to take. And I just thought, haven't, I gone through enough? Why am I calling this in? And is it going to go away and let me take the dagger out of my heart? So just wondering if you get anything about that.
Thank you for bringing that in. First, I would just like to share that, that sounds tough, and it is tough, this when we feel betrayed. And I really honor that path, that you would experience that, especially right now during a culmination of energies, like you mentioned over Lionsgate, when things come through and they're extra powerful and they're desiring to be seen and witnessed and heard. So I really appreciate you bringing this through right now, because I feel like a lot of us can relate, to that feeling of betrayal. And so I feel like what is coming in right now is, yes, it's to honor that feeling. And I know, like, I myself, even like in previous days, have had, it feels like initiatory levels, of things coming through that trigger these feelings in me. And sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's, shame, whatever it might be. In this case, it's betrayal, for you. And I've been allowing myself to feel it, and I've been noticing when I'm resisting it, because that has been such a powerful vantage point for me, is to really notice, oh, I'm resisting this feeling. And as soon as I kind of let it like happen, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to put my defenses up right now. I'm literally alone in my house, or like I'm in a safe space, like I'm not face to face with these people. Let's just allow myself to feel all of these emotions, because ultimately they are here for me. Nobody, I know that we've said this before, but nothing is happening to us. We know it's all happening for us, as Shefali so beautifully brought in. And we can really work with that and say, okay, if this is happening for me, soften, allow myself to feel it. And that even in itself has assisted with shifting the emotional pattern, even just a little. And especially with things that continue to trigger us, because this might be unique for you, but for me in recent days, it's been a continuous trigger, like of over years, like with the same person. And so I'm like, oh, okay, like we need to keep integrating, keep like feeling the emotions, journaling about it. But most of all, having compassion for ourselves and not resisting it. Because through resisting it, we're like inviting it to stay even longer. You know what I mean? Because we're resisting getting to the true center point of its purpose in our lives. So all of that to say, allow ourselves to feel it is what I would say. But then finding neutrality, you know, if you need to physically exert yourself in some way to get that energy moved through your body and your system. And then when you can, moving into neutrality, because neutrality is where we're able to then gain the wisdom from the experience, be like, oh, this is how I've been participating. This is how I'm participating, because they're also benefiting from your presence in their lives too, right? So it's so much bigger, and we're really able to gain the wisdom through neutrality. So I feel like I said that in a lot of words, but I just wanted to share how I relate to you in this, and that, I really feel where you're coming from, and I feel like a lot of us do.
Yeah. Well, part of it is something going on in the neighborhood, and it's hard to be neutral when there's jackhammering at 7 in the morning,
Oh, yeah, I know.
every
Oh,
morning now for a year. So it's just so many different fronts, you know, so many
yeah.
different fronts. So clearly it was, feel betrayal time because, like 8 different situations. So
My
not
goodness.
just not just one person, but okay.
Like a massive, yeah, clearing and cleansing and culmination, but you get to decide what you do with it, right? You can move through the steps to really feel it and assist yourself with processing it and gaining the wisdom. Or, if it feels like it's a lot, you could just press pause and just stay, like, continue in it. You could resist it, is all I'm saying. Like, there isn't just one way to go. I feel like we're learning so much no matter what we choose, and there's a purpose for it all, always. So there's no like judgment or shame if we choose to just let it run in our field, for a while. So just dissolving that too. But yes, if we desire to move forward, it's ironic because you'd think that moving forward would require like purposely removing it from our field and from our lives. But in my experience, anyways, moving forward is by going as far into it as you possibly can, allowing yourself to feel it all, journaling, just doing that until it's like, oh, okay, I just really need a break now. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope the payoff will be as good as the pain
Or better.
once I get through it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. And I have to say, I'm also going through something past couple of weeks, and it's been difficult and challenging, right? And so part of it for me has also been about lots of different energies, right? And so as they're coming in, for me, it's not about questioning why did I call this in? It's more about, okay, this is a pattern. It's coming back up, and it's coming up so that I can finally get the wisdom so that it doesn't have to happen again. Because I sense the pattern, I can see the pattern of it for myself. And so recognizing that whatever is coming through at a certain point is because there's wisdom there for me so that it doesn't have to repeat again. And so getting the wisdom or getting the understanding or just having compassion for yourself, um, for the situation, and breathing through it
Mm-hmm.
has been really helpful. Not judging, not judging myself. It's like because I do tend to judge myself sometimes. So it's like I have to come back to compassion, and it's like not judgment. Instead, it's like, okay, looking at the fear, looking at the shame, looking at the betrayal, just looking all of that and seeing all the places and spaces in this lifetime at least where I have experienced it before, so that I can now be okay with it, be at peace with it, and allow it to dissolve,
Mm-hmm.
so that it doesn't have to come back again. So that's my task right now and of course, right now, because of the Lionsgate energies and everything else, it is such a powerful time. So everything is magnified. All the energies are magnified, including our own reactions are magnified as well. Right. So how can we come back to neutrality? How can we come back to center much more quickly and easily is our task, right? Without going into judgment of ourselves or others or the situation or whatever. And knowing that, yeah, whatever is happening for our highest good, so that we will come back to ourselves and recognize some of these patterns that have been occurring from, for so many years, etc.
Well,
Yeah.
one person I asked about it looked into my past lives and said, okay, well, this is reflecting a lifetime of slavery where you were literally kept in a cage part of the time. So, I'll go to the redwood forests and hug the trees, and that should help.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So,
would.
go ahead, Elisa.
Oh, I just wanted to share quickly that, that was beautifully said, Shefali, and just honoring your sharing, Sarah, because it's a vulnerable thing, to go through these deep emotions. And, I've learned time and time again that we knew that ascension wasn't going to be easy, when we came into this lifetime, that it wasn't going to be just a piece of cake, walk in the park. And this is what that they mean by that, that it's consciousness level. It's our perception. It's what we're engaging with, what we're focusing on, and how we're seeing ourselves. And we're alchemizing that into the highest expression of unconditional love and self-worth and everything. And so it requires these kind of witnessing of these programs that we have going inside of ourselves. And when we really don't want to put it down, when we're in the midst of that internal battle, in our thoughts of what we would say to them or how we would handle it and all of that, that's when we've really entangled in to that program and we're running it, running it, running it. And it becomes a looping pattern. And that's what they mean about the hijacking of consciousness, and becoming aware of when that's happening. Because you are a sovereign creator, you're standing in your own unique individual hologram as an expression of source. And you can choose what you do. You can decide what you do with these things. And yet it doesn't feel that way sometimes. And that's what they mean about the veils of illusion, is that it doesn't feel that way sometimes. Like that is the veil playing out in our lives.
Yeah.
So just, yeah, I just wanted to drop that in because it's been so potent in my own experience to kind of realize, that these looping patterns are the veil at play in my field. And it's like, okay, what am I going to do with that? And nothing in me wants to drop it. Then go do physically exert the energy, do something to change your state.
Yeah. And that's important. That's key, because otherwise the energy is gonna stay the same. Your mental thoughts and that mental energy is gonna stay the same. The emotional energy is gonna stay the same. It needs an outlet
Yeah.
sometimes. Um, and your state of being, your frequency needs to shift
Yeah,
in order for
absolutely.
you to even receive any awareness about what the wisdom could be or whatever, right? So you're not going to receive the wisdom that you need from that space of being in the story, being in the emotions, being in that energy. You're not going to get the
Yeah.
wisdom then. It's from the after you've released it a little bit and then gotten to be able to, like, even change your state a little bit, then the wisdom can drop in. Because
Yeah.
and sometimes that takes time, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't always happen right in that moment, right? It might take a day or two or more, right? But it
Hmm.
will, if you're willing to receive it, and if you're willing to um be in the energy of what is in that moment, you will receive the wisdom. But are you willing to receive it, or do you want to still stay in the story?
Well,
Yes, exactly.
we're dreams, and just pay attention to those two.
Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'd actually received, I had actually had some interesting dreams right before, and I should have listened. I should have said, "What the heck?" But it's like it's okay. It's all good. Now I hopefully, you know, hopefully I got the wisdom. We'll see. Right. So, but this is a process, right? This is the journey. And, on the ascension path, the ascension journey, it's not easy. And no, they didn't tell me. Maybe before I was, before I reincarnated, they did. But once I got here, no, they didn't. They didn't tell me. But that's not true. They did tell me. And I'm like, I remember somebody told me before, like the last time I saw him, he told me, he said, forget about it. Forget about this stuff. Just be happy. Just live your life. Forget about this. He mentioned spirituality and self-realization, but it's the same thing. He said, it's it's too hard. Don't. And then so he did tell me that. Then he passed away a few years later. Um, but he did warn me. But once you're on the path, you can't really stop.
Yeah. And I mean, to Sarah's point, like it's it's massively rewarding. When we cross over, we're going to be able to reflect back on the influence that we've had on human consciousness to support them with ascending, just through our own choices, through our own microcosmic choices. And so not only is there a benefit to our life, there's a benefit to everyone's life and the entire future here. So that's what I mean about like, okay, my fear of public speaking, I've been like, let's just, this is a lot bigger than me. So I'm just gonna be with myself through that fear and do it anyway. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's really what so many of us are doing right now, is just like being with the fear, doing it anyway, and just loving ourselves through it. And that's how I've shifted, this fear of public speaking. Like I still get butterflies and stuff before each call, but it's a lot more manageable than it was before. And
Sorry, I'm not
it's
laughing.
through
It's
just
like
doing it.
it's like I'm so easygoing. I'm like, how can you possibly be nervous on a call like this with me? It's like
You are easygoing. It's not an accurate reflection of like the reality. It's more like the reality for me,
yeah,
because of
yeah.
doing. Yeah.
But that's the thing, I mean, like, I still get nervous when I do something for the first time. It doesn't matter how many times I do something. The first time, it's always like, oh, I hope I do it right. I hope I don't make a mistake. Blah, blah, blah. But then I do it, and
Yeah.
it's like, ugh, what was I worried about? It's like, come
Yeah.
on. after doing so many things. Like, how can I possibly worry about anything? But it's an old pattern that has still not resolved, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, are we
Which we're
going to
still
let it
working
like
through.
determine our choices, or are we going to like work with it and still make choices that we want to make, you know?
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is these are some of the things that we who are on the path, on the journey, are experiencing right now. So like like Sarah, she shared she's going through something. I shared I've been going through something for a couple of weeks now. Elisa also going through stuff. And so, you know, it doesn't mean that it happens every single day of the year, but sometimes there are times when it's like it seems like everybody's going through it, because it is a high potent time, intense time, when there's so many energies at play and everything comes up. So, all
Absolutely.
that stuff comes up, right? So, and it's coming up for us. It's not to us. It's coming up for us to know who we are, to remember who we are, to see who we are.
Yes.
That's the only reason. It's in everything that's coming up is in service to us, the soul, the expression of source that we are.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
So yeah, just want to, so just, so if you are going through something right now, it's okay. Keep heart, or whatever the phrase would be in this case, but know that
Hmm.
you're not alone, and know that you will get through it. Always try and get the wisdom, and remember that everything that is happening is a blessing, is a gift, is something that is there for you to receive the wisdom from, so that you can come back home to you. That's what
Yeah.
I think. That's how I like to phrase it. But I know in the
Yeah.
thick of things, when I'm going through like that, it's tough. But after the fact, when you can breathe again, it's like, okay, right. So just know that. All right. So
And
we are going to. I'm just going to quickly talk about the packages, Elisa, and then we'll do the activation transmission. Is that okay?
yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to share my screen. Am I going to share my screen? I'm going to share my screen. 1 second. Just to talk about the packages, and then we're going to do the transmission, activation. Okay, you should be able to see my screen now. So Alyssa has 2 packages. So there's the 6 months in the original Light of Sophia membership, and then package B is a 60-minute private session with Alyssa. So I have written on the special offer page a little bit about the original Light of Sophia membership. But Alyssa, if you want to talk a little bit more about that, but package A is the 6 months being in the membership.
Absolutely. So for those who feel called to join this particular membership, it's evidence of your soul's alignment with embodying the original divine blueprint, which means that, so in these transmissions, we, as we mentioned, we work with that living light library, and we call forth the highest expression of our crystalline potential. And it expresses through the living light library. We're able to integrate and activate different, like it's very potent, the different aspects of our crystalline DNA to be able to come in and assist us with restructuring ourselves and our lives, in support of this embodiment of new earth, of the original divine blueprint. So it's alchemical. We're working with the emotional body. Occasionally things come up. We also engage the breath work. We also engage the breath, which assists with kind of delivering that cosmic. So it's the Sophianic Christ light that comes through from Sophia's source, dives into the cells, assists with the alchemical process of transforming at a cellular level, kind of releasing the programs and illusions and entanglements, and embodying the highest expression of our crystalline potential. It transforms the chakras as well to vibrate in harmony, at their highest divine potential, supports the energetic meridians with coming online. And most importantly, it shifts our perception, right? It supports the expansion embodiment of the law of one. And that it creates a massive shift in perception of from, how we perceive ourselves, how we perceive our lives, what we believe we're worthy of, what we can achieve, and also just how consciousness even works. So we're able to kind of understand manifestation at a deeper level. We're able to consciously choose how we operate in our daily lives in order to manifest, the highest expression of our reality, like New Earth. So it's a very exciting membership. I know that there are testimonials there as well, just of other participants who've brought forward and shared what it's like for them.
Beautiful. And it's 6 months, and there's the 3 live transmissions per week, which are recorded. So if you can't attend live, you can always watch the replays, right?
Yes.
And there's transmissions that are archived as well. And so there's a lot more than just the 3 calls per week. And that's a lot. Even the 3 calls per week is a lot.
Oh, the live sessions are at 11 a.m. PST or 2 p.m. EST.
Okay, awesome.
And they
So
last
that's package
75
A.
minutes.
Okay, so an hour and 15 minutes. Awesome. So that's
Yeah.
package A, and there is a payment plan available. And of course, if you're an Inner Circle member, please use your gift code as well. And then package B is a 60-minute private session with Elisa. And I've had a private session with Elisa myself twice, I think now, and amazing. Both of them amazing. So you want to tell us a little bit about what that looks like?
Absolutely. So again, a private session with me is our intention is to activate the original divine blueprint and support our transition to it. So we might look at anywhere where you're like appropriating your consciousness into programs or things that are ready to be released. We'll also look at your multidimensional DNA. And so there's lifetimes that come forward as well to be witnessed and integrated. Whether that's like a Pleiadian lifetime, Arcturian, Lyran, Syrian, just the different collectives that step forward to be witnessed. So sometimes that can facilitate a connection with your higher self and your higher well, it always facilitates connection with your higher self. But those who come in as your guidance team, so you may experience like an awareness, whether it's through dream state, perhaps the activation of telepathy, where you're now engaging and capable of like channeling in your team of guides, because I feel like all of us are capable of that. But sometimes there's a frequency or a belief system of doubt, or sometimes it's just hasn't been activated quite yet, and it's purposeful. It's coming online now. So that's also taking place in the sessions. I do entity removal and implant removal as well. So any inorganic technologies or imprints that have been placed within your field, when it's called for, I'll release those. And we always call in the highest divine healing miracles capable of manifesting. And that kind of sets the stage for the session.
Awesome. Yeah, and these are amazing sessions. So you have package B is 111. There's a payment plan available, of course. And again, and if you're an Inner Circle member, please do use your gift code. Again, like I said, I have had 2 of these sessions, I think, for sure. Amazing, both of them. And there's some wonderful testimonials here, so please do take a look at those when you get a minute. And a much fuller bio for Elisa as well, so you can read up on that. So for the 6 months, when would that begin for someone if they were like, it's now August 6th? So like, is it a rolling membership so that people can start anytime, or how does that work?
So the 6 months would begin the moment that you join, or like the moment that you join, I would say, is when they would begin. And so
Okay,
we
awesome.
meet the 3 times a week right away.
Okay, awesome. So package A and package B, again, payment plan for both. And if you're an Inner Circle member, please use your gift code. So I definitely highly recommend definitely the personal session, because I've had twice with Elisa, these personal sessions. But even the original Light of Sophia membership, if you're really wanting to go deep, these transmissions activations are going to start to shift you at a soul level. It's going to, and it's about dissolving and resolving old patterns, limiting beliefs, etc., and opening up your field to what they're telling me is let in more light, right? So let in more light, hold more light at the same time as well, right?
Absolutely. And that facilitates the remembrance, of your highest self, of who you truly are.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there was, what time are the live sessions? So 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, right? And are there on specific days?
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh, see, Marjorie was like, we're in sync, Marjorie.
Yeah.
So I will put that on the page too, so that just so people know what days they are. But if you can't attend live, it's okay, because the replays and recordings you will have access to, right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So now we are going to do Elisa's going to facilitate a transmission activation with Divine Mother and the Sophia Christ Collective, which is going to include a crystalline DNA activation. Do we need to have an agenda or an intention for this, or how does that work?
Well, I always start by calling in the highest divine healing miracles capable of manifesting in accordance with the highest expression of your blueprint. And you're welcome to add any intentions that you would like. We go in at a deep cellular level to support clarity and embodiment of your highest crystalline expression. So sometimes that means, like light codes and frequencies from the grand central sun are coming in, and your highest self are coming in. So anything that you put forward is going to be met by your higher self and your guides, and facilitated.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right. Do it.
Let's do it. Let's go. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. So taking some time to focus on the breath. Just taking some inhales and exhales gently. Flowing into this present moment, into the here and now. Focusing on the heart center. Feeling the gratitude for this space and each other on this call. Feeling gratitude for our participation in our unique blueprint and contribution to ascension. Opening our central channel and connecting to the crystalline core of Sophia Gaia. Feeling that connection to the crystalline core. Utilizing the breath to draw forth the positive light from the crystalline core up through our central channel, meeting us in our heart center. Opening our central channel even further as we move upwards and we connect to our higher selves. Connecting to our oversoul. Connecting to Sophia's source and the womb of all creation. Connecting to Prime Source Creator. Breathing and allowing our central channel to remain open. Calling forth an impenetrable field of pure diamond source light to flow down and through the central channel, holding each and every one of us in an immaculate expression of diamond source light that easily and effortlessly transmutes any and all chaos frequencies and programs, attachments, and entanglements that are not aligned with the highest expression of Sophia Christ light. Setting the intention to receive the highest divine healing miracles capable of manifesting here and now in accordance with the highest expression of each of our blueprints. Allowing ourselves to breathe. Just taking some full inhales and exhales as we pour the crystalline light from Prime Source Creator into the crown chakra, calling forth the grand central sun to join us. feeling the grand central sun flowing its powerful solar plasma rays down and through the central channel, flowing through each and every chakra, portal, meridian, and gateway, easily and effortlessly transforming, alchemizing each and every cell into its highest expression. I am free. I am free. I am free. Continuing to utilize the breath to inhale the solar plasma light from the grand central sun, and exhale and release and allow. Allow that solar plasma crystalline light to dive even deeper into each and every cell, activating the diamond crystalline heart, opening up the crystalline heart, flowing into the diamond crystalline heart center now, flowing deeper and deeper and deeper into the heart, feeling ourselves immersed within the womb of all creation, feeling the rays of the grand central sun bathing us in the solar plasma crystalline light, feeling our central channels clarifying, activating, connecting easily and effortlessly to the grand central sun and to prime source creator. Feeling this profound frequency of love, of joy, of peace. As all frequencies and patterns and programs of imperfection or shame, of I must do it right or I am not enough, easily and effortlessly releasing those into the grand central sun in the womb of all creation. Feeling the profound activation of our kundalini in the root chakra. Perhaps noticing an earthquake or vibration sensation. Just allowing the presence of Divine Mother and the solar plasma rays to continue radiating through the spine, remaining neutral. I am divine neutrality. I am the 0 point. I release and allow all frequencies not a vibrational match to my highest expression of my original divine blueprint to simply wash away now. Feeling ourselves floating within the center of our Merkaba now. This pyramid shape above and upside down pyramid below. Feeling it sealed in all places and spaces, rotating in a clockwise direction. Feeling our light bodies accelerating as we are taken on a journey into the grand central sun. We feel ourselves united with Divine Mother and the Sophia Christ Collective. As Divine Mother places her hand upon our heart, we feel the profound activation of our crystalline DNA, our highest source potential, this frequency of unconditional love rising and getting bigger and louder within our physical experience here, overriding any sensations of shame, overriding any belief systems that we have had in childhood that we are not enough, We feel the profound activation of divine self-worth, of freedom to be our true, authentic self. We feel Sophia entering, filling the space with unconditional love, freedom, peace. We witness how our unique soul signature, our unique sound, is one with the sound of Sophia. That Sophia is expressing through us as us. We feel the sensation of play and the innocence of a child vibrating through us. And we are returned to our highest expression. We feel the acceleration and the embodiment of the law of one. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Sophia. Sophia. Sophia, Sophia, Sophia. Sophia. Bringing ourselves back in through the heart. When you're ready, coming back in through the heart center, back into the here and now, entering back into this physical body, into our physical body, feeling the resonance of Sophia flowing through us in each and every cell, as we easily and effortlessly return in through the heart with the crystalline DNA activated, with the grand central sun flowing through us, with our divine guidance team here in support of our embodiment. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Coming back into the here and now, and opening your eyes when you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you. Wasn't quite ready to open my eyes, to be honest, but it is what it is. Um, I was I was yawning through some of it. I'm still yawning.
Oh, I'm yawning too now.
Oh, how's everybody doing? My eyes don't want to open. My eyes just want to still continue to stay there.
I hear you.
So yeah, how's everyone doing? Let us know in the chat. Definitely drink some water. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can actually see, see and read. Hold on. Yeah, Marjorie says definitely was not ready to open my eyes. Yeah, but definitely drink something. Sarah says, Elisa, when you lifted your arms during the activation, I felt some energy enter my head.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, I felt it actually. Marjorie says, me too. I also felt it on the right side, but I also felt like at one point there was like this pressure right here, like this just like one little spot, right? And as I breathed through it, then I felt the shift in that space as well.
Beautiful.
Like it was like a pop,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
beautiful. That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
not sure what that was exactly, but
I feel like
that
it
was
was
out
one
there
of
before.
the meridian. I mean, I don't know what feeling into it. I'm just being shown how the solar meridians were activating. It was flowing through, the grand central sun, which is
Yeah.
this powerhouse of an expression that comes in to assist us with that. And so I feel like the pop was like a meridian that was clearing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because beforehand, I didn't feel anything before we did the activation. Now I don't feel anything. But during, I felt the pressure there, and then the pop, and then still a little bit of pressure after the pop. But it was like, but it's gone. It's completely gone. So it's like, yay, awesome, thank you. I'll
Yeah,
receive
that's
that.
wonderful. Another thing that I'm sharing now too about that is that it feels like there is a frequency of grief.
Mm,
So I don't know how that comes in or relates to your experience right now, but
yep,
that's what I was shown.
for sure. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for sure. Makes sense. Ah, beautiful. So yeah, so that was like short and sweet and powerful. But when you do the activations in the membership, there it's not. I know you said it's 75 minutes, but is it 75 minutes of the whole activation transmission, or is there Q&A in that as well?
Yes, there's a Q&A at the end. So the activation that we just did will experience for the first, 30 to 45 minutes, kind of depending. And then we do about half an hour of live channeled Q&A where
Hmm.
Divine Mother comes in, our higher selves come in, and we're offered these like beautiful perspectives, about the things going on and within our unique experiences. So it feels kind of like a private session in some ways. I mean, there are other people on the call, but it's so unique to
Hmm.
us. And so it's been described as just this beautiful, helpful experience. So yes, there is a Q&A.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you. And so, any last words of wisdom for us? I mean, I feel like, the activation that we just did, I feel like we're still in it. We're still receiving energies and frequencies. Are still working on our fields for now.
Yeah, I'm just so honored to be able to be live on this call and to offer this activation with you, Shefali, and everyone here. I'm just so deeply grateful. I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be, and it's because of everybody here on this call that I get to do what I'm doing here today. So I just want to express my gratitude.
Awesome. Thank you. And we're so happy to have you here as well. And this was such a wonderful process, and also the wonderful wisdom and teachings as well. So I will have the recordings out in a little while. So please do go back and watch again and listen again and receive this powerful transmission and activation as well for yourself. And then, of course, if you're called to work with Elisa, please do check out the packages A and B, either one. I think they're going to be magnificent. I mean, I know package B for sure, and package A with the membership. I think it's 6 months, and my feeling is that within the first month or two, you're going to receive powerful transformation for sure. But the transformation, it doesn't always look like rainbows and butterflies, but sometimes we do. It's about allowing all those patterns to come up so that they can be dissolved, right? So that we can get the wisdom, but you'll have a different perception of yourself, of your life, of reality as well, right?
Yes, a more loving perception is my direct experience with it, but then also others have shared that as well.
Yeah,
It's just like a
exactly.
softening, there's less rigidity, more of a flow and a peace to life, coming into the present moment more often and just enjoying life, you know. So that's kind of what
Beautiful.
has been shared.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing as I'm tuning um into what's possible in that membership. So again, please do take a look at it, see what resonates with you. And it starts, for you, the 6 months starts when you purchase, so it starts right away. Okay. And of course the personal session, my goodness, definitely I highly recommend that as well with Elisa. So thank you so much, Alyssa. And thank you everybody for being here with us today, for co-creating this beautiful space, for being part of this wonderful process and activation. Again, like I said, it was so powerful for me. I'm sure it was for you as well. And you can go back and do it again and receive a new, you know, experience, a new transformation, a new change for yourself again from the recording.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
so Oh, thank you, Alyssa. That was great. And thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll be back next week. Yeah, it's like, what day is it today? It's Wednesday. We'll be back next week. Right. So thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all so much love and blessings. Bye
All
for
right.
now.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.